Hi, I'm Terrence Piepenhagen. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this DVD. I'm sure you'll enjoy what you're about to see. Here in America, we have a retirement problem. The retirement problem, which works kind of like this. You've got the typical parents who they tell their child, focus on good grades. You get those good grades, maybe extracurricular activities, and then we'll get you through college. But what happens when the child does their part, they get the good grades, and the day of reckoning approaches? Too often, parents wake up and realize they haven't saved a dime. What parent wants to break their promise to their child and say, we can't help you? So in desperation, the parents take out a loan and end up spending 10 years paying them off, thereby putting retirement savings on hold. Because the age of the average parent sending their child to college is 46, these people find themselves in a very, very scary position. You see, the leading edge of the baby boomer generation is just over 60 today. And once they finish paying off these college debts, the boomers will be passing 70 and beginning to take required minimum distributions from their retirement plans. I'm sure the experts have opinions about what is going to happen to the stock market when all these massive withdrawals take hold. But we'll talk about that at a different time. For right now, the college loans got to get paid, and then you got to begin to play catch up on your retirement savings in what is pretty likely to be a down market. Hold on. It gets better or worse. Let's go another 10 years down the road. These boomers are now in their early 80s, likely generating major healthcare problems. Once again, just apply common sense. Are these seniors likely to be voting for candidates who are interested in tax reform or for candidates who are committed to taking care of the elderly? How is that going to affect tax rates and the spendable dollars for the elderly? What will be left over from your 401k, all your retirement planning? Here at Global Lending Group, we're committed to having our customers enter their retirement years without the negative effect of reducing or stopping the accumulation of those retirement dollars just because of improper college planning and funding. By strategically managing the mortgage, many homeowners can fund their children's college education and still prepare for a safe and secure retirement. That's life-changing value. There's another thing too, which is a part of the problem. As a financial planner of 30 years, you have a pyramid that those of you that have sat down with me I've taken you through that. The pyramid, simply because over in Egypt, the pyramids have withstood the test of time, thousands of years of storms. Well, that's what we want to do as far as your financial planning is concerned, is to build a secure house. The way we accomplish this is through the bottom base of the pyramid, which is wide and narrow at the top. We fill in the base first, this being with safe, secure investments. However, what too many people do is they move upstairs before they filled in the bottom, and what happens is they build a very shaky and insecure house. They put money in the stocks and the bonds before they have the base filled with the guarantees. That also can be a problem, which I'm going to talk about later. And there is then one more problem that I want to address. So here's the next problem. The average American, they desire to retire someday on 100% of what they're making at the time that they retire. The problem is that without a plan, that's not going to occur. Many people don't plan to fail, they simply fail to plan. They spend more time planning their vacation than they do planning their eventual retirement. So what happens is you've got this goal of 100% of your income at retirement, which will enable you to live a comfortable life. So the problem is, though, that down here, you do your part. You put your money in the 401k, the 403b, the IRA. In other words, you try to put together the pieces of your retirement plan. Perhaps your employer helps out as far as a pension or profit sharing or some sort of retirement plan also. And then, of course, then you have Social Security. The problem becomes, though, that there is a gap. And that gap represents a big difference between what you have and what your goal is. That's where our planning comes into play to help you fill that gap with our unique and profitable strategies. You know, I've worked with over 9,000 individuals over the past 30 years, helping them both accumulate and then retire well. We use the latest cutting-edge strategies. I've always felt it's probably good to know who you're listening to know if they're worth listening to. So I've been asked to speak before a lot of different groups: hospital associations, college associations, school board associations, school board administrative associations, as well as teacher union associations. What this means to you is that I can help you lower your taxes, retire well, and fund college for your children. Now, there are problems along the way, and let's talk about those. As your trusted advisor, I ask you, what's your plan for retirement? How can you use what Rockefeller called the eighth wonder of the world, which is compound interest, and pre-fund your retirement? Let's talk about this. You can put your money into the stock market, but you've got a problem. As Warren Buffett said, the first rule of investment is don't lose. And the second rule of investment is don't forget the first rule. And that's all the rules there are. So, in terms of the investing, are you getting paid for the risk that's in your portfolio? See, a lot of badly wired brains, because I've got this presentation that I call Investors Behaving Badly. They saw a pattern. Because Joe and Susie, the mutual fund with XYZ Company, performed real well last year, ergo, it should perform well this year. The only problem is that the markets don't work that way. So an illustration here shows you vividly how this can destroy your retirement along the way. This illustrates, through the years, net inflows as well as outflows into the stock market. Now, at the very time, January of 2000, when the market had peaked and was ready to turn down, that was the highest inflow into the market. Then that same thing happened in January of 2004. At the very time that everyone should have been getting out of the market, they were getting in record numbers. Conversely, down here, June through September of 2002, when people should have been getting into the market in record numbers, they were exiting. And identical down here, September 2001. The very time you should have been getting into the market, you were exiting in record numbers. This presents a problem to your retirement, because Stanford University did a study which found that a bear market occurs on average every 7 years. Out of that 7-year period of time, the average investor takes 4 years to recover from that bear market, which means that every 7-year period of time on average, you've got 3 years of money-making opportunity.